Cyberpunk 2077, the game that we have all been waiting for almost a decade, the most anticipated game that was set to be released, the game that was going to break the boundaries and sets a whole new standard for open world RPG. What went wrong? How did the biggest game that had the most hype end up turning into just an average game? Was it the developers rushing the game? Was it CD Projekt Red trying to take over creative control? Or was the expectations just way too high? In this video, I will be talking about the pros and the cons and just my overall experience of the game. PS, I will avoid any spoilers. Let's talk about what I didn't like. The first and most obvious was the bugs, but that wasn't really a big issue, considering you get bugs on any new release games. Some tend to have more than others, but I was expecting it. Now, I did play Cyberpunk on a high-end PC, an RTX 2070 Super to be exact, so it wasn't that bad. Like, the graphics still looked insane, but it also ran very fast and it wasn't a complete mess. I can't say a lot about the console version. From what I have seen and from what other people have told me, that the game does not run nicely on them systems. The PS5 does run okay at a decent resolution at 60 FPS, but it is still not optimized for 4K and it is frequently getting crashes. The PS4 on the other hand is having a very hard time trying to even render the textures. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, this game was created on a PC first, then the console. Normally when a game is created, it is made and optimized for console, then it is ported over to the PC, which is why I'm guessing the optimization is bad. Another thing which I didn't like was the level of customization in game. Now, I'm not talking about the creation of your character when you first begin, but what I mean is, after making your character, that's it. You're stuck with it. You can't change your hair, you can't change your makeup, you can't change anything except your clothes. That's it. You are stuck with that look to the very end. And also the life paths. The life paths are useless and have no meaning. For anyone that doesn't know, there are 3 life paths to choose from: Nomad, Street Kid and Corpo. I was expecting these 3 life paths to have a major role in the game, but instead they're only useful for about 10 to 15 minutes into the game, which is kinda crap. The amount of supercars in the game is lacking. I was expecting much more high-end cars, but realistically there's only like 1 or 2, maybe 3 high-end cars to purchase, as well as you can't mod or change your car or change the cosmetics of it basically. Map exploration. Now, I knew Cyberpunk wasn't gonna have a huge map like The Witcher 3 or GTA 5, but I still kinda wish there was more to explore. The AI, the NPCs are just brain dead, like there is no life in them, and that's one of the huge letdowns of the game. The fact that you have an open world game and you can't interact with the NPCs is kinda disappointing. Now, I still think Red Dead Redemption 2 is the king of open world AI. The wanted system in the game is broken, the police don't chase you or even put up a fight against you. Side missions feel incomplete, there are no activities to do, it felt unfinished. I think the biggest problem in this game is that there is so much stuff missing that CD Projekt Red has promised us. I won't mention them all, but here is a photo that someone posted on Twitter. It's a long list. Now, going into the positives, what I liked about Cyberpunk 2077. The first thing I was amazed by was the graphics. The graphics are insane and it's one of the best looking games to play. Like when you play this game at night, it just feels so raw and immersive. Now, I did play on max settings with no ray tracing using DLSS. If you try to play this game without DLSS, then you are fucked. You need some sort of resolution scaler to play this game. The UI. I liked the user interface of the game. Like when you go into your inventory of the menu, it feels very cyberpunk and unique. Now that's kind of a dumb thing to say because the game is cyberpunk, but you see certain games, they just look kind of ugly, but it's not cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, like the whole theme of it looks nice. The story, man, the story is so good that I actually want to relive the story again. There are multiple endings to choose from and I think CD Projekt Red nailed the story, man. They nailed it, man. Character development. I got attached to the characters in the game, especially Johnny Silverhand. He honestly became my best friend, even though he plays as a terrorist living inside your head. But yeah man, CD Projekt Red, they nailed the characters. Speaking of characters, Keanu Reeves. I don't really like when big actors go into games because they don't do their best acting, they do it for the money. But I can honestly say Keanu Reeves did such a good job playing Johnny Silverhand that I think without him the story would have not been that good. So lastly, the abilities. There is no wrong way of playing this game. You can choose to be anyone you want and have a certain playstyle. You want to be a muscular tank? Go for it. You can max out your athletic perks. You want to be Neo from the Matrix? Do it, you know. You can choose to max out your reflex perks. You want to be a cybernetic ninja? Go for it. You can choose to do that. Or if you just want to be Hitman and go stealth, you can do that. Just max out all your hacking skills and that's it. You don't have to shoot a single bullet in your life. Overall, I think Cyberpunk, but that's it. It's a good game. It's not the best game. It's not the most hype-worthy game. I got about 90 hours into the game and I can't play anymore. There's just so much stuff missing and not really anything to do after you complete the main storyline, including the multiple endings. I kinda wish this game was more RPG, but instead it felt more action adventure. Now this review is how I feel about the game now. It could change in the future because we all know CD Projekt Red are going to release DLCs, and there were apparently rumors that they were going to do an overhaul of the game, which I would take with a grain of salt. But yeah man, that's how I felt about the game. I kind of just wanted to get my thoughts out and really say how I felt because I really wanted to love this game. I really did. It just sucks how this game turned out to be, man.